Types of forecasting and their methods. Imagine running a business and trying to plan for the future. How much stock to order, how many employees to hire, or what products will be in demand next season. Forecasting helps companies make smarter decisions, but not all forecasts are created equal. Different situations call for different methods. The following are the major types of forecasting and how businesses use them effectively. 1. Qualitative forecasting. When data is limited. Not all forecasts rely on numbers. When historical data is scarce, such as when launching a new product, businesses turn to expert opinions, customer feedback, and market research. The characteristics of this is that it's based on human judgment rather than statistical models. It's useful when historical data is unavailable or unreliable, and it's often used for long-term planning or new market trends. For example, a startup launching a new tech gadget gathers insights from industry experts and surveys potential customers to estimate future demand. Psychological effect. Authority bias. People tend to trust expert opinions, even when those experts might be wrong. Businesses relying solely on qualitative forecasts should be careful not to overlook any contradictory data. The key lesson here is that qualitative methods work best when they are combined with actual data once it becomes available. Second comes time series forecasting, learning from the past. This method assumes that past patterns and trends will continue into the future. Businesses analyze historical data to predict sales, demand, and market fluctuations. The characteristics of this are that it is based on past data trends. It works well for stable and repetitive patterns, and it is best suited for short to medium term forecasts. For example, a clothing retailer uses sales data from previous years to predict the demand for winter coats, expecting similar seasonal trends to repeat. Psychological effect. The gambler's fallacy. People sometimes assume that patterns will always hold, even when external factors could change them. A company may over rely on past sales trends without accounting for new competitors or shifts in consumer preferences. The key lesson here is that time series forecasting works well for stable environments, but must be adjusted for unexpected market shifts. Third comes causal forecasting, understanding cause and effect. Causal forecasting looks at relationships between different factors, such as how advertising spending influences sales or how economic conditions affect demand. Characteristics of this are that it identifies cause and effect relationships, it requires multiple data sources, and it is more complex than simple trend-based forecasting. For example, a fast food chain analyzes how local weather patterns affect its sales. Data shows that sales increase on rainy days, so the company adjusts marketing efforts accordingly. Psychological effect. Correlation versus causation bias. Just because two things happen together doesn't mean that one causes the other. A company might see a correlation between social media activity and sales, but incorrectly assume that more social media posts will always lead to a higher revenue. The key lesson here is that causal forecasting can be powerful, but businesses must ensure that they are identifying the real cause and effect relationships. Fourth comes judgmental forecasting, relying on your experience. Sometimes businesses don't have reliable data or need a quick forecast. In these cases, decision makers rely on intuition, past experience, or educated guesses. The characteristics here are that it is based on personal experience and expert judgment. It can be subjective and prone to bias, and it is often used in crisis situations or when historical data is unavailable. For example, a CEO may make a snap decision about how much inventory to order for an unexpected product surge based on their past experience. Psychological effect. Overconfidence bias. People often overestimate their ability to predict outcomes based on intuition. Relying too much on gut feelings can lead to poor decisions. The key lesson here is that judgmental forecasting can be useful in fast moving situations, but it should be supplemented with data whenever possible. Number 5, artificial intelligence and machine learning forecasting, the future of predictions. With advancements in technology, businesses are increasingly using AI and machine learning to analyze vast amounts of data and detect patterns that humans might miss. The main characteristics of this forecasting method are that we use algorithms to detect patterns in large data sets. It continuously improves with the more data you have available, and best for business with access to big data sources. For example, an online retailer like Amazon uses AI to predict which products customers are likely to buy next, optimizing its supply chain accordingly. Psychological effect, automation bias. People tend to trust AI generated forecasts without questioning them. However, AI predictions are only as good as the data they are trained on, and poor quality data can lead to inaccurate forecasts. The key lesson here is that AI driven forecasting can be highly effective, but human oversight is still necessary to ensure accuracy. So, why do forecasting methods matter? Well, it helps businesses make smarter decisions about inventory, hiring, and marketing. It reduces financial risks by preparing for different possible outcomes. It improves efficiency by optimizing supply chains and resource allocation. And as a final thought, forecasting isn't about predicting the future with perfect accuracy. It's about making the best possible decisions with the information available.